If I could sit across from you right now, just you and me, no noise, no speeches, no cameras, I would tell you something most people rarely hear with sincerity: you are capable of far more than the world has allowed you to realize. And I say this not as a motivational speaker or an expert in human potential, but simply as a mother who has watched a child walk into storms that no one believed he could survive and turn them into paths others now proudly walk on. I have watched dreams collapse, rise, collapse again, and stand taller than before. I have seen fear masquerade as logic, seen doubt dressed up as practicality, and I have seen passion win battles that statistics swore were impossible. And today, I want to share something with you, not about Elon, not about fame, not about rockets or cars or companies, but about being a human being who refuses to let the world define the limits of what is possible. I want to talk to the part of you that still believes in something, even if that belief has been buried under exhaustion, disappointment, or the quiet ache of feeling alone in a fight you didn't choose. You might not know this, but even the strongest people you admire, whether entrepreneurs, creators, leaders, or innovators, wake up some days feeling completely unprepared for what awaits them. Even the bravest hearts tremble sometimes. Even the most ambitious minds doubt themselves. Even the loudest visionaries have moments where their own thoughts go silent. When Elon was young, he was quiet, introverted, always thinking, always tinkering, always wandering into worlds that existed only inside his mind. People teased him. Teachers misunderstood him. He was different. And different, in the world's eyes, often means wrong. But what people forget is that everything extraordinary was once different. Every breakthrough was once a question no one wanted to ask. Every innovator was once considered unrealistic, impractical, foolish, or naive. And that includes you. The things you dream of, the things you feel pulled toward, the things you haven't dared say aloud, they're not accidents. They're not fantasies. They're the seeds of something that could become real, if someone believes in them long enough. And today, I want to be that someone for you, because I know, not by theory but by life, that a single voice of encouragement at the right time can change the course of a person's destiny. I want to tell you something honestly: life will rarely hand you the perfect moment to begin, the perfect conditions to thrive, the perfect support system to carry you, or the perfect confidence to take that first step. Most beginnings look like chaos. Most breakthroughs start as mistakes. Most victories grow from struggles that feel too heavy to carry. And yet, people rise. Not because it's easy, not because they're gifted, but because something inside them refuses to settle for a life half-lived. You have that something. You wouldn't be reading this if you didn't. You wouldn't feel the pull to improve, to reach, to expand, to discover, if there wasn't something inside you that knows you are meant for more than the routine that has dulled your spark. There is a fire in you that may have been dimmed but not extinguished. Maybe you've been told to be realistic. Maybe you've started to believe that your dreams are too far away, too expensive, too complicated, too late. Maybe life has exhausted you to the point where even imagining something better feels foolish. But hear me clearly, you are not done becoming who you were meant to be. You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are in the middle of your unfolding, even if it feels like a standstill. And sometimes the quietest seasons are where your strongest transformations begin. I remember the nights Elon stayed awake long after everyone else had fallen asleep, surrounded by books, scribbles, circuit boards, and half-finished ideas. There was no applause. No encouragement. No guarantee that any of it would matter. But he kept going. Not because he was fearless, he wasn't, but because he was curious. Because something inside him refused to accept the limitations around him as the final truth of what was possible. Life will test you. It will challenge your patience, your resilience, your belief in yourself. It will whisper doubts so convincingly that you begin repeating them in your own voice. But if you can nurture even the smallest spark of determination, if you can hold on to curiosity even in your darkest moments, you will surprise yourself with what you can create. People often think strength means never falling apart. But strength is actually the ability to put yourself back together, even when no one is watching, even when no one understands how difficult it is. Strength is the willingness to try again when the world expects you to quit. Strength is the courage to envision a future that looks nothing like your past. And you have already survived things you thought would break you. You have already endured days you thought would never end. You have already grown in ways you didn't notice because survival disguised itself as routine. You have already proven you can handle hard things. So trust that you can handle what comes next. There were moments when Elon felt misunderstood, moments when he wondered if what he was doing would ever amount to anything. People criticized him, doubted him, laughed at him, dismissed him. But what they didn't see was the deeper truth: he didn't need their approval. He needed his persistence. He needed his curiosity. He needed his willingness to stay in the game long enough for possibility to reveal itself. You don't need permission to pursue the life you want. You don't need validation from people who cannot see your vision. You don't need to justify your dream to anyone who has settled for less than theirs. You just need to begin. Even small steps matter. Even slow progress counts. Even moments of hesitation can lead to breakthroughs if you keep moving forward. I want you to reflect for a moment, not on what you've lost, not on what you fear, not on what you regret, but on what you still want. What excites you? What pulls you? What idea keeps returning no matter how many times you try to silence it? What part of your future do you hope will be different from your past? These questions matter. They matter because your answers reveal the blueprint of the person you're becoming. Maybe you want to start something new. Maybe you want to reinvent yourself. Maybe you want stability, or success, or freedom, or peace, or creativity. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that life can be more than survival. Whatever it is, I want you to hold it gently but firmly. Do not let the world convince you that dreaming is childish or impractical. Dreaming is the first draft of becoming. I have seen the world change in ways that once felt impossible. I have seen technology evolve faster than our fears can keep up with. I have seen people rise from circumstances that should have defeated them. I have seen quiet souls become leaders, shy children become innovators, doubted thinkers become pioneers. And each time, the transformation began with the same simple truth: they refused to shrink. They refused to surrender their imagination. They refused to let the world convince them that ordinary was the only option. And I want you to carry that truth with you now. Do not shrink. Do not dim. Do not apologize for wanting more than the life you were handed. Sometimes the world will try to pull you backward right when you're on the edge of a breakthrough. Sometimes fear rises not because you're unprepared, but because you're stepping into unfamiliar territory where growth is inevitable. Sometimes doubt appears not because you are incapable, but because you are expanding beyond your old identity. Embrace this. Growth is uncomfortable. Progress is messy. Reinvention feels like chaos before it becomes clarity. But the discomfort you feel when stepping into your potential is far more rewarding than the emptiness you feel when you avoid it. When Elon was building things that seemed unreasonable, people asked me if I worried for him. And the truth is, I didn't worry about him failing, I worried about him not trying. Failure doesn't end someone's story. Fear does. Hesitation does. Playing small does. You can fail countless times and still succeed. But if you never begin, your dreams have no chance at all. So begin. Begin imperfectly. Begin quietly. Begin scared. Begin slow. Begin alone if you must. But begin. You might think your challenges disqualify you from greatness. But often, it is the very challenges you endure that shape your strength, your wisdom, your resilience. They make you personable, grounded, aware. They sharpen your instincts. They deepen your empathy. They force you to build endurance and clarity. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are rarely the ones with the easiest paths. They are the ones who learn to navigate hardship with persistence, patience, and purpose. So I want you to imagine your future self, 5 years from now. 10 years from now, standing taller, speaking with confidence, doing the work that makes you feel alive. What would that version of you thank you for starting today? What small step would they be grateful you took? Sometimes the path becomes clear only after you take the first step. You do not need a full plan. You do not need certainty. You just need commitment. There will be people who don't understand your journey. That's fine. They aren't living it. There will be people who doubt you. That's fine. Their doubt is not your responsibility. There will be moments when your own voice trembles. That's fine. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite it. You aren't meant to be perfect. You're meant to be growing. And I want you to remember something else. You don't need to transform your life overnight. You don't need grand gestures. You just need honest effort. You just need to make choices that align with the person you want to become. Even the smallest shifts can alter the course of your destiny. One new habit. One new routine. One new risk. One new belief about yourself. Small things compound. Small things build momentum. Small things eventually become big things. If I could give you one piece of advice that has carried me through my own life, it is this: never assume it's too late to become the version of yourself that you've always imagined. I started over many times. I reinvented myself many times. I moved countries, changed careers, rebuilt my life, rebuilt my dreams. And every time I started again, I was scared. But every time, something beautiful grew from the decision to try. Elon wasn't born extraordinary. He became extraordinary through persistence, curiosity, and an unbreakable refusal to give up on the things he believed were possible. And you have that same capacity within you. You may not feel it yet, but it's there. Waiting. Quiet. Unassuming. But powerful. So take this message as a reminder, a nudge, a spark. You have more in you than you realize. You have more strength, more creativity, more resilience, more potential. You have chapters ahead of you that will make everything up to this moment make sense. You have opportunities waiting for you that you cannot yet see. You have a future that is not limited by your past, you are still becoming. And the world needs what only you can create, and if you're still reading, I want you to know something important. Your willingness to continue proves something about you that you may have forgotten. It proves you haven't quit on yourself. It proves you haven't surrendered your hope, even if it feels faint. It proves there is a part of you, perhaps small, perhaps tired, perhaps whispering instead of shouting, that still believes you can rise. Do you understand how powerful that is? Many people stop dreaming long before life forces them to. Many accept a life that never truly felt like theirs. But you're still searching. You're still listening. You're still trying to understand how to move forward, how to grow, how to live in a way that feels meaningful. That desire alone sets you apart. That desire alone is the beginning of transformation. You may look at successful people and assume they had advantages you didn't. And yes, sometimes circumstances differ. But what you don't see are the nights they doubted themselves, the failures they hid, the mistakes they carried, the exhaustion they endured. You don't see the sacrifices that quieted their loneliness, the decisions that made them question everything, the moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. Trust me, no one escapes the struggle. But some people learn to use it. Some people learn to grow from it. Some people learn to let the weight of their challenges strengthen their spine instead of breaking it. And you can be one of those people. When Elon was young, he didn't have a roadmap. He didn't have mentors who told him exactly what to do. He didn't have a clear path laid out. He simply followed what pulled him. And yes, it was messy. Yes, it was risky. Yes, it was lonely. But those qualities didn't make the journey wrong, they made it real. People often wait for perfect conditions before they pursue what they want. But perfect conditions are an illusion. If something speaks to you, if something calls you, if something refuses to leave your mind, it's worth paying attention to. That feeling is not random. It's direction. You might worry that you're not ready. Let me tell you a secret, no one is ever truly ready. Not at the beginning. Not when the opportunity first appears. Not when the idea is still forming. Readiness is something you grow into by starting before you feel comfortable. And as you step into the unknown, you learn. You adjust. You develop the skills you thought you lacked. Confidence doesn't arrive before action, it grows through action. If you wait to feel confident before taking the first step, you may find yourself waiting forever, and I want you to consider something else. The people you admire didn't get there by being fearless. They got there by moving forward even when fear followed them. Courage doesn't silence fear, it coexists with it. Courage says, I know you're here, but I'm going anyway. Courage reminds you that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts far longer. Courage is the part of you that rises even when your voice shakes. And you have courage in you. More than you've acknowledged. More than you've ever given yourself credit for. There were moments when my son questioned everything he was doing. Moments when things fell apart. Moments when it seemed like all the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the sleepless nights, were leading nowhere. But those moments didn't define him. They refined him. They taught him patience. They taught him endurance. They taught him to push through uncertainty. Your difficult moments are shaping you too. They are carving strength into your bones. They are teaching you resilience. They are preparing you for a future you cannot yet see. You might think your life is ordinary. But from where I stand, nothing about you is ordinary. The fact that you're still standing after everything you've been through, that alone is remarkable. The fact that you still want to grow, that is extraordinary. The fact that you're willing to keep going, that is powerful. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you know. And the world hasn't seen the best of you yet. I want you to imagine for a moment that every hardship you've endured has been training. Training for clarity. Training for courage. Training for purpose. Training for a version of yourself that you haven't met yet. Maybe your life hasn't been easy. Maybe you've been tested more than others. Maybe you felt alone in ways that are hard to explain. But maybe, just maybe, it's because you were meant to build something within yourself that only pressure could shape. Diamonds form under pressure. Stars are born from collapse. And people often discover their brilliance through adversity. Think back to a moment you survived that you once thought would break you. Think about the feelings you carried then, the fear, the confusion, the despair, the uncertainty. Now look at you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still searching for meaning. That alone proves you can survive far more than you imagine. So instead of fearing challenges, trust your ability to navigate them. Trust that you have enough strength, enough wisdom, enough intuition to guide yourself through the unknown. There is something deeply human about wanting to grow yet feeling unprepared. There is something deeply human about dreaming big but fearing failure. There is something deeply human about longing for change but clinging to familiarity. Growth is both beautiful and uncomfortable. It asks you to stretch, to adapt, to evolve. But the reward is a life that feels like yours. A life that reflects your true potential, not your fears. A life shaped by your decisions, not your circumstances. Let me tell you something I've learned through watching not just Elon, but people from every walk of life. You don't need to be extraordinary to begin. You become extraordinary by beginning. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to have everything. You don't need certainty. You need willingness. You need persistence. You need the patience to grow into your potential. And you need the courage to take steps even when you can't see the full path ahead. Every great journey begins with a moment of vulnerability, the moment you decide to try. I know you've tried before. I know you've been disappointed before. I know you've been discouraged before. But I also know that you've grown since then. You're not the same person you were when you fell. You've learned. You've changed. You've matured. You've collected wisdom that only experience can teach. And because of that, this time can be different. You might have moments where you feel like life is moving faster for others. Moments where you compare your path to someone else's. Moments where you worry you're too slow, too late, too behind. Let me reassure you, your timeline is not supposed to match anyone else's. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to take the next step. Every person's journey unfolds at its own pace. Comparison steals your joy, but self-trust rebuilds it, and I want to tell you something deeply personal. When I was raising my children, I had no guarantee that things would turn out well. I had fears. I had doubts. I had challenges that seemed too heavy. But I kept going because I believed in them. And now, I want to lend that belief to you. I want you to borrow my confidence until you find your own. I want you to see yourself through the eyes of someone who knows you have more inside you than life has allowed you to show. I want you to trust that you were not born to simply exist, you were born to expand, to contribute, to create, to impact. Your life is not done surprising you. There are people you haven't met yet who will inspire you. There are opportunities headed your way that you cannot imagine. There are successes waiting for you that will make you grateful you didn't give up now. There are moments of joy, pride, and purpose ahead of you that will rewrite your understanding of what's possible. You're not at the end of your story. You're at the turning point, and I promise you, your future self is waiting for you with gratitude. And now, as we reach the end of this message, I want to leave you with something that lives at the heart of everything I've learned as a mother, as a woman, and as someone who has watched dreams rise from dust. It is this: your life is allowed to change. You are allowed to grow in ways that surprise even you. You are allowed to outgrow the version of yourself that people became too comfortable recognizing. You are allowed to make decisions that align with who you want to become, not who you were expected to be. You are allowed to shed old fears, old patterns, old limitations, and step into a future that finally feels like your own creation. People will sometimes resist your growth because it disrupts the familiar pattern they've placed you in. They may question your choices, your direction, your ambition. But their confusion is not your problem. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your life is not a performance for anyone else's understanding. You do not owe people an explanation for wanting better, for wanting more, for wanting a life that lights a fire in your soul. You owe yourself the courage to chase what calls to you. You might wonder if you're truly capable of transforming your life. You might worry that your past mistakes or missed opportunities have locked you into a fixed future. But nothing in you is fixed. You are fluid. You are adaptable. You are capable of learning, growing, evolving, reinventing. And the world you live in is changing too, constantly creating new paths, new opportunities, new possibilities. The person you will be 1 year from now is still being shaped by the choices you make today. And the beauty of that is simple: you get to choose. I want you to think about the dreams you've tucked away, not because they were impossible, but because life got heavy. Think about the passions that once excited you before routine dulled them. Think about the potential you sensed in yourself before the world told you to settle down and be practical. Those dreams are still alive. Those passions are still waiting. That potential is still yours. You haven't lost any of it. You've only buried it beneath responsibility and fatigue. But you can uncover it again. You can return to yourself. You can reignite what once made your heart feel awake. And you can do it at any age, at any stage, under any circumstances. You are not too late. You are right on time. Many people spend their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity, waiting for the right moment to begin. But the truth is, life does not hand you clarity at the beginning. It rewards action with clarity. It rewards courage with opportunity. It rewards consistency with transformation. Even the smallest step you take today can open doors you didn't know were there. Even the smallest shift in your mindset can change the direction of your entire future. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, remember this: you don't need to change your whole life at once. You don't need to leap. You don't need to sprint. You can walk. You can crawl. You can inch forward. Progress is still progress even when it's slow. What matters is that you keep going. What matters is that you refuse to give up on yourself. Because once you stop, once you settle, once you silence your dreams to keep the peace, you begin to lose the spark that makes you feel alive. And you deserve better than that. You deserve a life that excites you, challenges you, grows you, fulfills you. I want you to know that the world is full of people who gave up right before things began to change. Right before their breakthrough. Right before life surprised them. Right before the moment they had been waiting for. Don't be one of those people. Hold on. Stay in the game. Keep showing up. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. The door you've been knocking on might be only one moment away from opening. The strength you need might already be within you, simply waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. And if you are afraid, good. Fear means you're stepping into something meaningful. Fear means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone. Fear means you're alive. Let fear walk beside you if it must, but do not let it lead. Let your hope lead. Let your curiosity lead. Let your determination lead. Fear will always exist, but so will courage. And courage, even in its smallest form, is always stronger. Before I end this message, I want to say something directly to your heart, something I hope you will carry long after you finish reading. You matter. Your presence in this world matters. The things you dream about matter. The things that hurt you matter. The things you want to change matter. You are not invisible. You are not irrelevant. You are not replaceable. There is only one you, and the world would be incomplete without your particular blend of thoughts, experiences, dreams, strengths, imagination, and potential. The world needs thinkers. It needs creators. It needs dreamers. It needs people who believe in possibilities others overlook. It needs people who refuse to shrink. It needs people like you. There is a place in the future that only you can fill. There is a contribution only you can make. There is a story only you can live. And that story is far from over, so as I close this final part, I want you to take a deep breath and let this truth settle into you. You are stronger than your fears, braver than your doubts, and more capable than you've ever been allowed to believe. You are standing at the beginning of a new chapter, not the end of one. You are not defined by your past, you are shaped by it, strengthened by it, and prepared by it for the incredible things still ahead of you. Whatever you dream of, start. Whatever you fear, face it. Whatever you want, choose it. Whatever you hope for, move toward it. The future belongs to those who dare to believe in it. And you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. I believe in you. And one day soon, you will believe in yourself too.